Hi, it's me. I'm going to talk about my experience as a pagan while I do my makeup. I'm going to try not to make it too long of a video, but we'll see. Okay, so my name is Barbara. Um, I am not a makeup artist. I am using Wet n Wild Mega Last Incognito Concealer. I know I just don't have any eyeshadow primer at the moment. So this is my little trick. Clean finger, ring finger, always says the least amount of pressure. But anyway, okay, so when I was it was in 2006 when I was 18 years old, um I was searching the internet, just pretty much like what's equivalent to nowadays doomsday scrolling on Facebook. But I was just cruising. Oh, took too much off. Oops. I was just cruising the internet and just seeing what's out there, kind of thing. Just minding my own business. And I came across this thing called Wicca. Well, I did some research on it. I was Wiccan for a little bit. And just when I say for a little bit, I mean like a few months. When I was in college, my roommate found my Book of Shadows, and she kind of freaked out, which, I mean, understandably so. Wicca is kind of a newer religion. I think, if I remember right, I haven't been Wiccan for like 4 years now, so I just kind of forget some things. But like in the 50s or 60s, maybe in the 40s, but I think it's the 50s. And I forget who founded it and all that. I'm not Alexandria Wicca or something they used to have. So some Alexander guy. But anyway, so that was Wet n Wild Mega Last Incognito Concealer on my eyelids. I do my eyeshadow first because I typically get fallout, and I just don't want to deal with it on the under eyes. I'm kind of torn between Urban Decay Born to Run eyeshadow palette or the BH Cosmetics Zodiac. They're both really beautiful, but I think I'm going to go with the Zodiac today. Anyway, I have a septum ring. It's flipped up, so anyway, I was pagan for like a few months. I wasn't really serious about it. Wasn't diving in deep, and oops. And I do mine left and right handed. But yeah, I wasn't really delving in deep. I wasn't serious about it. And I just I'm jumping all over the place. I'm so sidetracked. I'm sorry. But I was Catholic for a while. And when I was 15, I got my first communion into the Catholic Church because we moved up here from the St. Louis. And I was Catholic for a little while, several years, and it was lovely. I really did like being Catholic, and I'm Catholic now again, but I had an issue with some things, like with the way the church was doing things and stuff, and when I came out on my own, I was like, oh, I can reinvent myself. I can have a new religion. Like, I can just reinvent myself. Nobody knows me here at the school. And I'm not going to tell you where I went because the internet, you never know. But anyway, so like I went to school there and I had a roommate and she was okay. Like she probably said the same thing about me, that I was okay, because like we personalities clashed big time. Personalities really clashed. I grabbed the wrong brush. This brush was by Boutique, and this one's just one I got off Amazon. It's like a oval tip brush. I'm going to go in it with my crease. Yeah. And anyway, so fast forward 2014, 2015, Mom was having some issues with her heart. She had a heart attack and she had been hospitalized, and I was like, okay, great. Well, she ended up passing away of a heart attack October 22nd, 2015. I remember her being in ICU, and I remember, and for me to be able to talk about this now is just phenomenal. I've come so far with my grief. Because when I grieved my mother, I grieve hard. I grieved hard. I still struggle. I don't know what I'm going for with the makeup look. Like, it's a little crazy right now. But the left eye always turns out better than the right, even though some think the right eye looks great. I think it's a mess. But Mom, she had some heart issues. She was on blood pressure medicine. It seemed like none of the blood pressure medicine ever worked. Because, I don't know, hypertension, things like that. So what she ended up passing away October 22nd, 2015, of a massive heart attack. She was the craziest part about it is she was on her way to a doctor's appointment, a cardiologist, and she was getting ready for the day. My older brother walked in and found her deceased. And he doesn't really talk about it, but he's got a lot of PTSD from the situation. I put way too much over there. I haven't done eyeshadow for like months, so forgive me. But he's got a little PTSD because he was the one that had found her. And yeah, so. But we had her funeral and everything. And then about I want to say like a couple of months. See, one always looks different. I think this one looks better than this one. A couple of months into after her passing away, I was really depressed. I was in and out of psychiatric units for an average of every other year. Like it's been a long struggle for me with grieving my mom. She was only 46 years old. She was 46. She, it was very sudden and things like that. And so like none of us kids, like, it was all a surprise to us kids when she had passed. So let me get my makeup remover. I'm using Garnier Skin Active Micellar Cleansing Water, all in one. No rinse, no harsh rubbing, face all skin types, even sensitive skin, because my skin is sensitive. Let me tell you. But anyway, so she passed away October 22nd, 2015, and I was in and out of psychiatric units, and I blamed God because I was a very, very, very firm believer in God. I blamed him for killing my mom. That's what I did, and I went with that. I blamed him for killing her because he took her from me, and I denounced that he existed, and started being pagan. Wiccan specifically, like mentioned before. I went back to Wicca. I had more knowledge about it. I was doing more research. Yeah, my cheek is crazy. I was doing more research. Let's see, what else? I was practicing magic. I was like some Wiccans. There's a trash can right behind me. Some Wiccans don't practice magic. Like some just do the. That's crazy. Sorry. Some just do magic. Some just whatever floats their boat. But the main thing was like, harm none, do what you will. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you're not, you're not doing anything wrong. And I'm not saying Wicca is wrong, but for me, it's not for me. And so I was practicing magic. I was getting to where I was worshiping Aphrodite and gonna start following her. And for those of you who don't know, Aphrodite is the goddess of the Greek goddess of love. I'm using Breakaway in the Urban Decay Born This Way palette. Just a little highlighter. Yeah. Anyway, so I was doing that, and it was not Revlon Color Stay, normal to dry skin is the foundation I'm using, and I forgot porcelain, I think, is the color. That's okay. I'm gonna keep that in there, that blooper, because it's all over my shirt. I hope it comes out, because this is my shirt that was given to me by a loved one, so we'll see. Not doing that again. And the sponge that I'm using is by Profusion Cosmetics, and it's Harry Potter. So, I was practicing magic. I was doing, I had an altar. I had, like, you name it, I had it. I had herbs. I had crystals, tarot cards. I had, like, 4 or 5 decks. One was a blessings deck by, like, angel cards. That's where they get you. It's angel. It's okay. Whatever. But I had a blessings deck, and I had like 3 or 4 other tarot card decks. I had quite a bit accumulated, but anyway. So I don't prime my cheeks I should. I just don't have any I don't have any right now. Excuse me. Excuse me again. But the tarot cards, the crystals, the pendulums, like the pendulums that I had, they were crystals on the end, and I dropped some money into these tarot cards and into all my supplies. There was where I live. There's 2 hours from where I live. I had to drive an hour and 15 minutes to go get my metaphysical supplies. The metaphysical store that I used to go to had, it was called I'm not going to do that. The metaphysical store that I went to was just a small, like, mom and pop shop. It was really cute. It wasn't like your big box stores. It was just like a small, locally owned. The lady was amazing. She's so sweet. But I had sage sticks, herbs, like you name it. I forgot to do my eyeliner and my mascara. I'll get to that in a second. Sage sticks, herbs, like you name it. I had it. And the worst part about it, though, like the money, like the crystals, real quality crystals, ethically sourced, are not cheap. I would buy crystals on Instagram. I would buy, not Instagram. Yeah, Instagram. They would do auctions. Blend down the neck. but they would do auctions and stuff, and I was like, I was convinced like my life was great, everything was fine. I was happy. I wasn't happy. I thought I was though. Let me get to my eyes. I always do eyeliner first and then mascara. Okay, so I'm going to use, where'd it go? This NYX Professional Makeup Micro Brow Pencil in taupe. Itty bitty. But, yeah, I lost track. Dang it, I knew I was going to do that at least once. But, yeah, so, like, I would go, they even, the store that I was going to even had, a pagan classes. And you could go there and you can learn about like you wouldn't learn spells specifically, but you could learn things there like the meaning of some like I don't know, like why pagans do what they do, why we're here, things like that. This is a Sally Girl and it's a brow thing. You've got a comb and a brush. I'm going to brush them. But anyway, so it was I thought it was great. And I would drive an hour and a half twice a month to go see these people, and they would teach me about like magic and like spells and stuff like that. This is an eyelash curler, and I've never used one like this, and it's Profusion did a collab with the Harry Potter, and I love Harry Potter. Profusion Cosmetics is an eyelash curler. So boop, boop, boop. It took me forever to figure this thing out. Now, I always mess up. I don't know if I'm supposed to curl first and then put the mascara on, so I'm just going to do that. I need to focus. But anyway, so, and then this eyeliner is LA Girl Shockwave. I love this eyeliner. I'm almost, like, I'm running low. Anyway, sorry, I can't talk and do that. But I went to these classes, and then I was going to them for a while. Then winter hit, and where I live, we get harsh winters. Not as harsh as some, but we do get some harsh winters. Oh, Sky High, Maybelline New York Sky High mascara in Noir Cosmic. Cosmic Black. Woo! Anyway, I was going to these classes, and everything was great. And then I felt something. Like, I felt a pull to go back to the Catholic Church. Or the church. And, oh, wait. Let me backtrack. My little brother, my husband and I were working a whole lot at the time. And my little brother was like, hey, I'll mow your yard for you. And I was like, yeah, sure. We've been working a lot. Just watch out for dog poop, because we had a Great Dane at the time. You could see the Great Dane on my channel in earlier videos from a while ago. I mean, he's been gone for a while. But he's like, yeah, sure. Or I was like, yeah, sure. And so, like, I let him in. I gave him the house key. I let him in. And, well, he let himself in. And then he's like, after he was done mowing, we left him some money because we weren't going to let him do it for free. We left him some money. And then, like, I told him, I said, just stay. Make sure you just stay out of my altar room because that's my personal space. And I just don't want anyone in there. And he did not listen. My little brother, bless his soul, did not listen. Oops. And I lost the liquid eyeliner. We'll just use LA Girl Fine Line. LA Girl Fine Line in black. Oh no. There it goes. Okay. I'll fix this. I fix everything as I go, or sometimes at the end. It just really just depends. That's not gonna work. It's out. We'll just use the Shockwave. Actually, no. Woo! I've got Lottie. And that's a really good brand too. It's Lottie, and it's got a little butterfly stamp. You can't really see it here. Butterfly stamp on the end of it. I like my liquid liner pens. Anyway, so like he did not listen, and he went into my altar room anyway, and he prayed over the altar room. After I specifically told him to stay out of there. He insists that looks like crap. We'll just draw a thicker line and go with it. He insists that okay, that's done. I don't have my glasses on, so this is like really hard for me to see properly. It looks okay to me. But anyway, he went into the altar room and he started praying over it, and he claims, and I say claims because I'm not sure, like I believe in supernatural, but you know, when it's you and something that's happening to you, you're like, oh well, I don't, it couldn't happen to me. But anyway, he said that he woke up the next day and there was 3 claw marks in his back after he prayed over my altar, which I don't know how far-fetched that is. Anyway, so he decided that he was going to pray over my altar, and I told him not to do anything with it, just to leave it alone, and he didn't listen to me. And the blush is by Catrice Cosmetics, and it's Illuminating Blush in Coral Me Maybe. Coral is a really complimenting on my. Oh, I just did the wrong brush. Yeah. So he went in and he prayed over my altar, had the 3 marks on his back, and he's like, Sissy, you have a demon in your house. And I'm like, okay. whatever. I personally at the time did not believe in demons. I believe there was not demons per se, but like there was other entities out there, but they weren't demons. Like they were just evil entities. So yeah. So I didn't take that news very well, and he told me what happened, and I was like, "Yeah, right, Roy. Yeah, right. Like you're so full of crap. Like it's not me. It can't happen to me." Um, I noticed though. I need to get this on going along because I'm almost done. I noticed like as I was being pagan, I wasn't happy, and I felt this pull to go to church. My little brother, he was my pool. He said, "Hey, sis, I would like to invite you to this thing called Post." And I said, "Okay, what is Post?" And he told me, like, no, not interested. No, thank you. And he went on and on about it for a couple months, wanting to get me to Post, invite me to it's like a glorified Bible study, is what it is. And he did invite me several times throughout the next few months. And I went, and everybody just like came in. And when I told them my story, it was testimony night, and they just come back from this thing called Ashes to Beauty. It was testimony night, and people were telling their experiences at Ashes to Beauty, and they said, "Anybody have any experiences or anybody?" I forget exactly what was said. Excuse me, but I also have this Makeup Revolution blush palette, and it doesn't have the name of the colors on it, but it's gorgeous, and I just didn't use it. But I stood up and I said, "I'm, still searching. I don't know what I want to do with my life. I don't know what I want with my faith. I'm stuck, and I'm pagan right now, and I was a mess, and all the girls, every single female, there's like 60, 70 females in that room, and the area we were in, and they're like, "Oh my gosh," and like they started praying over me and giving me blessings and talking about how good God is, and they said, just the fact that you're here, makes everything so much better, and things are going to be better for you seeking help with through Christ. And I said, "You guys are all crazy." That was my first reaction, was, "You guys are crazy. God can't help me. I'm long gone." And I went to church, and I felt this pull and this drive just to go to church. And I looked, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." And the whole mass, I went back to the Catholic Church. The whole mass, I just sat there and I just cried. And I had people, "Are you okay? Are you?" And I'm like, "I'm great, just fine. Thank you for asking. Didn't really want to be bothered." But my congregation, my church family, they were really concerned. And and then this highlighter is Hogwarts. It's Profusion. And it just says pressed highlighter. That's all it says. It's beautiful. It's so pretty. I put highlighter on with my fingers. But I went to church and just cried. Just cried the whole time that I was there. And I was just really in a moment. I was having a moment. And they were really good. Okay, so I'm using Wet n Wild, and I haven't decided the color that I want to use. This one, or they look the same. Wait a minute. Cinnamon spice, and they're the same. Sorry, my laugh is obnoxious, but that was really funny. No wonder. I was like, those look so much alike. Anyway, I think I look ridiculous with that lipstick, but it's fine. Anyway, so went to church, and then I came back to God. Eventually, long story short, I came back to Christ. This is Too Faced Born This Way translucent setting powder. It was gifted to me by a friend who cannot use it. Oh. Anyway, so long story short, I came back to God, and my life has been so much better. Yeah, my husband and I, we struggle on some things, like every married couple has their struggles, but I feel like ever since God has come back into my life, I've been a better person. I'm not as depressed as I was. I was diagnosed with depression at 9, and I was told that people do not get depressed at 9, not typically. That's for someone in their 30s. I'm just setting my whole face because I don't feel like dealing with the makeup coming off. But it was, I'm not doing very good at this, and I thought I would do better, but this is my first post in a year, so I think I'm doing okay. But I don't want to go back down that path again. I just don't. The pagan path. I wasn't hurting anyone. I wasn't hurting others, myself. But over the years, I did struggle. With my faith in the 5 years that I was pagan. And I even got a tattoo. Made in Mother Crone, the Pentacle, and not have to live with that. But what I'm saying is, I think in my experience, somebody going through what I went through and stuff, and like losing mom so young and things, and it just, I don't know. I'm just glad that I found God. And I'm glad that, he found me. And I'm glad that I made the decision to go to church that day. I'm happy for all those things. But I want some of this. This highlighter is killing me. And I really love my congregation, and my niece goes to church with me every once in a while. She said, Barbar, can I go to church with you? And I'm like, yeah, sure, baby. You can come to church with Barbar. Ask mommy if it's okay. And her mom always says yes. The little girl asks me about God and what I know about God, and I'll tell her what I know. And I feel my testimony is very moving because that's exactly what it is. It's a testimony of my faith, and I may not have come to get it across very clearly, but the fact that I even have a testimony like that is just really near and dear to my heart and very important to me. I don't drink. I don't do illegal drugs. I just, it's bad for me. But yeah, so anyway, I try to be as godly as I can, but I'm only human and I'm not perfect by any means at all. So if you have a testimony about coming from pagan to Christianity, I would love to hear your story.